This is TradeFlow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. TradeFlow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets.
A group of European Union countries will take the unusual step of drafting their own legislative proposal for an EU gas price cap, Poland's climate minister said on Friday, amid skepticism from Brussels over the idea. At a meeting on Friday, ministers from EU countries debated whether to cap gas prices to tame soaring energy costs and inflation, an idea that has support from at least 15 states, but which is opposed by others including Germany, Europe's biggest gas market. Polish climate minister Anna Moskwa said after the meeting, which did not yield a firm commitment from Brussels that the EU will propose a price cap, a group of countries would make a proposal of their own.
OPEC Plus oil producers considering lowering their output target at a meeting on October 5 are focused on a cut of between 500,000 and 1 million barrels per day, BPD. To support the market, OPEC Plus sources told Reuters. Earlier this week, a source familiar with Russian thinking said Moscow could suggest a cut of up to 1 million barrels of oil per day, while an OPEC source put the likely figure closer to 500,000 barrels of oil per day. Talks are expected to continue ahead of the meeting. Maybe during the weekend or Monday it will be more clear. Usually, the consultations conclude just before the meeting date, an OPEC Plus source said.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
China has set the size of its latest batch of oil products export quotas for 2022 at about 15 million tons, trade sources with knowledge of the matter said on Friday, a shift in fuel export policy as Beijing seeks ways to boost trade. The quotas, widely expected by the market for the last 2 weeks, include 13.25 million tons of refined products, normally gasoline, diesel and aviation fuel, and 1.75 million tons of low-sulfur marine fuel, two of the sources said. The new issue of 13.25 million tons, the year's single largest allotment, takes total allotments of diesel, gasoline and jet fuel combined for 2022 to 37.25 million tons, on par with 2021.
India's central bank is encouraging state-run refiners to reduce dollar buying in the spot market to contain a sharp fall in the rupee, two sources said, adding they have been asked to lean on a special credit line instead. The Reserve Bank of India has ensured $9 billion has been made available at overseas branches of some Indian banks for the country's 3 state-run refiners to tap, said the sources who have direct knowledge of the matter, adding that the funds are available at market rates. Since last 2 to 3 days RBI has been asking companies to tap this credit line, one of the sources said. Next, we have the top news in metal markets. The copper spot premium in top consumer China could stay elevated in the next few months, analysts and traders said on Friday, as demand for the metal has improved on the back of government stimulus. The spot premium for refined copper was at 605 yuan, $85.36, a ton on Thursday, up from 50 yuan a ton at the end of last year. Earlier this month, it hit 825 yuan, the highest since November 2021. The premium, which is paid on top of copper prices listed on exchanges, gives an indication of the supply-demand balance in China's physical copper market.
Gold rose to a 1-week high on Friday as the dollar retreated from recent highs, but bullion was headed towards its worst quarter since March last year, buckling under fears of impending large interest rate hikes by the U.S. Federal Reserve. Spot gold was 0.1% higher at $1,661.89 per ounce by 1:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time, 17:45 GMT, and gained 1.1% so far this week. U.S. gold futures settled 0.2% higher at $1,672.
We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector.
India is likely to receive above-average rainfall in October, an official with the state-run weather office said on Friday, posing risks for summer-sown crops such as rice and the planting of wheat. Monthly rainfall is expected at 115% of the long-term average, Mrityunjay Mohapatra, Director General of the India Meteorological Department, told a virtual news conference. Heavy rains in October could damage ripening crops such as rice, pulses, cotton and soybeans, and may delay wheat planting in parts of India, the world's leading producer of an array of farm goods.
That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to TradeFlow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.